Good evening and thank you for joining us here at GBS News at 9. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Adams Minor, and together we'll be taking you through the stories making headlines tonight. But first, here are the highlights.
We must be careful to be factual, lest we become victims of the things we accuse others of doing.
Is it the clergy versus the state? Heads roll as the church comes out strong to put government to check with the president advising on improved theological program.
Members of parliament are supposed to oversight the national government, but they themselves are now being involved in the execution of projects at the constituency level.
Stop being greedy, Raila tells members of parliament, revealing a government contractor who is still a member of parliament. Just who is Raila referring to? Justice delayed is justice denied. Finally, DCI intensifies prime suspect in Kirinyaga MCA's daughter's murder. Police seek public assistance in locating the perpetrator. Football Kenya Federation elections. Nyandarua FKF branch push its elections to Saturday. Just what is wrong? And now, the rift between the ruling government and the Catholic Church is slowly but surely becoming more evident, with President William Ruto subtly hitting back after the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops accused his administration of spreading a culture of lies and failing to deliver on the promises to Kenyans. Speaking at a graduation ceremony in Nairobi, the president urged leaders and citizens to stick to the facts in public discourse. His comments come amid a flurry of statements from political leaders and government ministries defending the administration's record and challenging the church's criticism on issues ranging from corruption to healthcare and education. Here is the full report.
We, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, thank God for the gift of every Kenyan and all people who live and work in Kenya.
Just a day after the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops accused the Kenya Kwanza administration of spreading a culture of lies and failing to live up to its promises on key issues affecting Kenyans, President Ruto has made a subtle response when he attended Tangaza University graduation in Nairobi, calling on all leaders, clergy, and Kenyans to stick to facts when engaging in public discourse, warning that people can become victims of the things they accuse others of doing.
And I want to ask all of us, leaders, the clergy, Kenyans, to work together towards a nation that we can all be proud of. And even as we engage in public discourse on matters that are important to the people of Kenya, we must be careful to be factual, lest we become victims of the things we accuse others of doing. I know you know what I mean.
But before the president's statement, a flurry of statements followed Thursday evening from both sides of the political spectrum. Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot dismissed the bishop's claim, labeling them as baseless and questioning their credibility. He specifically addressed concerns about a proposed constitutional amendment, stating that the bill in question was presented by the Senator of Nandi, Samson Cherargei, a devout Catholic faithful, which the president's party has since disowned the bill and it currently stands rejected. Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah echoed Cheriot's statement, accusing the bishops of pushing a political agenda and demanding evidence of alleged corruption. Kapseret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi went further, accusing Archbishop Anthony Muheria of promoting tribalism. In contrast, opposition Member of Parliament Babu Owino backed the bishops. Government ministries also responded swiftly. Health Cabinet Secretary Deborah Mulongo clarified that the government was addressing NHIF debts, with 7.58 billion already allocated, and more funds were on the way, including substantial payment to faith-based hospitals. Education Cabinet Secretary Ogamba defended the competency-based curriculum and the new funding model, calling the church's criticism inaccurate given the government's investments and progress. The National Police Service, through Inspector General Douglas Kanja, also rushed to protecting the president through a press statement. He reiterated the government's commitment to serve and protect all people in the country. Kanja addressed concerns on rising crime, highlighting over 1,500 arrests related to abductions and femicides, as well as the new specialized units to tackle these crimes. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
A section of leaders from Embu have expressed diverse opinions over accusations of mismanagement of the country and failed pledges leveled against the government by the Catholic bishops on Thursday. Manyata Member of Parliament called on the government not to take offense when it is criticized for failing to fulfill its promises or meet the expectations of its people. He said it was uncalled for to attack the church over the remarks it made, saying the church speaks on behalf of the people and that should be taken keen interest to find out the cause of the outcry instead of going on the offensive. He said the government should devise good channels to communicate its programs and projects to Kenyans so that they can appreciate what is being done. Political lobbyist Kiragasha Moneki, on the other hand, faulted the church for failing to appreciate what the government has done or is doing to improve the livelihoods of Kenyans and the economy. He, for instance, said it should have been appropriate for the church to encourage farmers to make good use of the short rains to plant crops in ensuring the country achieves food security.
To call out on their congregations and support the state on the initiatives that are beneficial to the people. For example, we are now in the short rains, and we expected also that the same bishops would call out on the congregations to take advantage of the short rains, to take advantage of the subsidized fertilizers, so that we work towards food security in the country. We expected that the bishops would encourage their congregations to register en masse, considering that the registration has a 90-day window, because it is under SHA that we can be able to balance between the poor and the rich. Under SHA, those that cannot afford healthcare and those that can afford are all balanced. The poor and the rich are covered. The young and the old are covered. And therefore, we are concerned that our leaders within the church are not objective in their criticism for the state, because for us to have a balanced state, we expect that we will have those that criticize as well as supporting the initiatives that are beneficial to the people.
Kanisa ikiongea, inaongea kulingana na vile raia wanaongea. Na ni vizuri sisi kama watu wale wamepewa nafasi ya uongozi, tukisikiza, tusisikize tu tuseme huyu anachukia sisi. Tuende kwa direction ya kusema hii maneno inaongewa, shida iko wapi? Inaweza kuwa kuna misinformation. lakini hata hiyo misinformation imekuja kwa sababu ya kukosa kwa raia na kanisa kuelewa ile maneno ambayo serikali inafanya. So ni ile tunasema lazima tufanye more public engagement kulingana na zile vitu ambazo zinaletwa na serikali. Singetaka tupate nafasi ya kwamba sisi kama viongozi tunatusi ama tunaingilia kanisa kwa sababu wameongea.
Azimio la Umoja Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga has today urged parliamentarians to maintain and play their oversight role instead of implementation of what devolution or counties are supposed to do. Speaking in Nairobi, Odinga cited out the damage that members of parliament are doing to devolution by taking over projects that county governments are supposed to do by law, leading to the parliamentarians getting involved on issues of conflict of interest. Here are the details.
Opposition leader warning to members of the National Assembly taking over the role of devolution, hence sabotaging its service delivery to the people of Kenya at the county level.
The funds which are supposed to go to the counties for those purposes are being held by the national government in what they call National Government Constituency Fund. And even this road levy fund is going to members of parliament. This is not the work of MPs, this is the work of counties.
Odinga has stated that the members of the National Assembly no longer play their role of oversighting the national government and are busy competing with devolution through allocation of funds supposed to be disbursed to counties into their dockets.
Members of parliament are supposed to oversight the national government. See, they're supposed to represent their constituents. Two, they're supposed to legislate. And three, they're supposed to oversight the government. But they themselves are now being involved in the execution of projects at the constituency level. In fact, there's very little work being done in the National Assembly. The Assembly is most of the times empty. There are no debates taking place in that parliament the way it used to be when we were members of parliament those days.
The disbursement of resources to county government has always been a headache to county governments from time immemorial, as county governors have always raised concerns and laments due to delayed disbursement of funds to counties, and if released, they are always in small portions, causing a delay in the implementation of county projects.
One of the legacies you can leave as a treasury is to actually create a directorate for devolution or directorate for dealing with county finance matters.
Odinga's message to parliamentarians who are dodging their role of oversight and went ahead for the implementation, a role of the county government, hence leading to the conflict of interest, is expected to bear fruit, as his Azimio parliamentarians are expected to take a lead in championing for the devolution, and his urge to all those who fought for devolution to stand up and defend it is expected to bear fruits.
When you go there, you'll find that counties will tell you, we have no money to fix these roads, because the National Assembly has removed these roads. So this is the time that we now redefine devolution. What is devolution? Every time we sit here and we lament, and then when a motion comes from the National Assembly, we are quick to pass it. This is an opportunity for us to be able to put our foot down, even for those who will go into mediation, because I want to persuade all of us here that we reject those amendments in totality. When you go into mediation, you put your foot down, because if we cannot fix our county government's roads, then what else are we doing?
Davis Karani, GBS News, Nairobi.
Residents from Nyandarua County have expressed mixed reactions over the intended impeachment of Governor Dr. Kiarie Badilisha, a motion that Mirangine MCA Samuel Mathu is preparing. In the motion, the MCA has cited numerous allegations that, if passed, could see the first-time governor sent home. However, the move has elicited mixed reactions from residents who have expressed their concerns over the intention to impeach the governor. They claim that such a move would derail meaningful development and that its timing was also wrong, as it comes just a few days after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's immediate impeachment. Meanwhile, a section of members of the County Assembly of Nyandarua have distanced themselves from purported and much publicized impeachment motion of Governor Dr. Moses Kiaria Badilisha. The MCAs have termed the notice of motion as misplaced and that it fails to meet the right procedures. Led by Majority Leader Mwangi Nyaga and Majority Leader counterpart Mwangi Geshoke, the MCAs say they were yet to receive the notice of motion to impeach the governor Badilisha, as it is the procedure, and hence advised residents to treat it as a mere propaganda and a hearsay.
On various development-based activities here. But among critical issues that have come to the public is that there is an insinuation that there is a motion to impeach the governor of Nyandarua. I would want to clarify that we are not seized of such a matter and that it is not on the floor of the House. It is not a motion that is within our knowledge, and we want to clarify to the general public and most specifically the people of Nyandarua that there is no such a move.
Concerning the issue to do with the impeachment, and I would want to be very categorical and say that as leaders of Nyandarua and as a leader of this county, that we are tired, including our voters. We are tired to do with on things to do with impeachment, and the only impeachment that we can be discussing today or going forward is the impeachment to do with anybody who is a political sellout, especially on the issue of impeachment concerning our deputy president that happened some weeks ago, and the members of the public are waiting.
Ni Mariam Ehwa, mkazi wa Nyandarua Olkalau, na hii mambo yenye nasikia kuhusu Badilisha impeachment nimekataa. Tuache tuishi na amani venye tuko, kazi ziendelee kufanywa, aendelee na kazi zake, sisi wenyewe tumeridhika.
Sisi Nyandarua sisi tuko safe na Badilisha. Hatutaki maneno kama yenye ilikuwa wakati ya Kimemia. Ati ukienda huko tunaambiwa hakuna pesa, sijui nini. Hatutaki. Sisi tumesharidhika na Badi. Sisi ndio tulimpea kura, tuliamka asubuhi tukampea kura, na tukukua tunasema tutakuja siku moja kumtoa.
Kuuliza tafadhali komesha hiyo maneno. Nyandarua imekuwa na vita wakati wa Governor Kimemia miaka 5 hakuna kazi ilifanywa. Sasa wakati huu ambao tuko na Kiaria Badilisha, mzee mwenye kupenda amani, ambaye anaelewana na MCA wote, anaelewana na speaker, anaelewana na serikali mzima, tunataka kukuuliza MCA Madhu, koma hiyo maneno, wachana na hiyo maneno. Wewe wacha governor wetu atufanyie kazi.
Thank you, Honorable Babu.
Recruited in the 200 so that as we even form the regulations, we are also able to ensure that
Moving on, President William Ruto has today presided over a graduation ceremony in Tangaza University. Speaking at the ceremony, the president underscored the need for visionary leadership, particularly in a world that faces complex challenges, from poverty and unemployment to climate change and technological disruption. He called on the graduates to embrace their roles as servant leaders, guided by the values that promote unity, tolerance, and respect for diversity. Here are the details. President William Ruto delivered an inspiring speech at Tangaza University's graduation ceremony today, marking a significant milestone for the institution as it officially became a chartered university. In his address, the president emphasized the importance of values, leadership, and national service, urging the new graduates to contribute meaningfully to society and country's development.
Recognize and embrace the opportunity and the responsibility to prepare learners to contribute meaningfully to a better society, a better country, and a better world.
The event was graced with several dignitaries, including Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos, among other leaders.
I can promise you, sir, that the graduates before you here today are adequately prepared for the world of work and are ready to help us develop a country under the bottom-up economic transformative agenda, better known as BETTER. These graduates are well aware of the fact that the impact of their work will be measured not only by what they achieve, but by the ethics they uphold.
In addition, the head of state congratulated the graduating class in his remark, acknowledging their hard work and commitment to academic excellence. He highlighted Tangaza University's mission of not only imparting knowledge, but also fostering virtues such as patriotism, empathy, and integrity. The head of state underscored the need for visionary leadership, particularly in a world that faces complex challenges from poverty and unemployment to climate change and technological disruption.
With the confidence of someone empowered here at Tangaza University, ready to teach minds, to touch hearts, and to transform lives everywhere you go.
On a policy level, the president reiterated the government's commitment to improving higher education in Kenya. He highlighted ongoing reforms, including the introduction of a student-centered funding model aimed at ensuring equitable access to university education. The ceremony was a moment of celebration not only for the graduates, but also for the university, which continues to play a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's next generation of leaders. Many thanks for joining this live broadcast. We have a lot lined up for you in our news segment tonight. But first, let us take a quick break. We'll be right back with even more.
Hello, my name is Nyabio. I'm from Mahanim. Called this school a good school because the second my mom saw it, she saw it was Christian-based. And when I see Christian-based, that's what the character my mother wants from me. And I like the sports that we play for PE. Like sometimes we play table tennis, we can play football, we match, and on Fridays we have games. And we verse the teachers in football. And this is why I think the school is the best school your children can go to.
Leo tuko hapa kuchemusha mambo. Yeah, you want to talk about things that youths do, things that are led by youths, things that are there to help the youth.
The major mission for OIY is we want to be an umbrella organization for the voice of the African youth.
Okay.
That's why we bear the name African.
Africa.
Yeah, so we want to bear the voices of young people and walk with them the journey of life.
It doesn't matter if you have education background or you don't have. They just let you know and understand and feel proud of yourself. You can do this. This is what you want, go for it, do it.
Okay.
We've seen that there has been a challenge of teenage mothers coming back to the society. Is it going back to school, going back to work?
Okay.
So I can say that maybe the society is we do not have the best environment to integrate or take back some of even the teenage mothers.
Wow. So becoming a manager, it's something that someone can be. If you can just create something and out of it you make it beautiful.
Going alone, I'll go nowhere, but going together will go so far.
In everything that you're doing, just ensure you're consistent. Yeah, because consistent beats hard work. Huh?
Every day is a day to watch the youth hub. Wow, like that.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. You are still watching GBS News 9. A prime suspect has been identified in the murder of Seth Nyakeo Njeri, the daughter of Kirinyaga MCA Lucy Njeri Maneki. The individual remains at large after the 24-year-old was found dead in Thika on October 10, 2024. Authorities are now seeking public help to track down the suspect, who is considered dangerous due to a criminal history. Here is more on the same.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigation has identified a prime suspect in the murder of Seth Nyakeo Njeri, the daughter of Kirinyaga MCA Lucy Njeri, and is appealing to the public for assistance in locating the suspect, who remains at large after the crime. Seth Njeri was found murdered at her friend's house in Biafra Estate, Thika, on October 10, 2024. Her body showed visible marks around the neck, suggesting she might have died from strangulation. Following the murder, Kimathi, believed to be in his mid-20s, went into hiding and has since evaded arrest. Authorities are warning the public that he is considered dangerous, particularly in the light of his criminal record, which includes a recent court case from September 25, 2024, where he was charged with threatening to kill. As the investigations continues, detectives are urging anyone with information about the suspects whereabouts to report to the nearest police station. Triza Tiengo, GBS News.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has clarified the privileges and immunities extended to the Gates Foundation, saying they are meant to facilitate seamless operation of international organizations. He explained the Privileges and Immunities Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Order 2024, published in the Kenya Gazette dated October 4th, saying that it is geared towards impactful programs in the country. Mudavadi said the Gates Foundation has met legal requirements and its host country agreement and privileges associated with it have been approved by the cabinet. By streamlining operations for the development partners, he affirmed that the government ensures that aid and innovation reach those in need when they need it most. Mudavadi, also Foreign and External Affairs Cabinet Secretary, assured Kenyans is vigilant in balancing its sovereignty with benefits of global cooperation. Similarly, he said this recognition cements the position of Nairobi as a multilateral hub and regional financial and logistics center and consolidates the development and social partnership that Kenya and the United States of America have developed during the past 60 years of diplomatic engagements. Other areas that the foundation is engaging in expanding the reach of digital financial services and payments, particularly to small and medium-sized enterprises.
Diligence that preceded that exercise, Your Excellency, was very extensive, and Gates Foundation is joining only. It's just one of over 170 organizations that are already admitted to enjoy privileges and immunities under this statute. And I want to tell Kenyans at this point in time that this work of assessing organizations with a view to extending or conferring to them the kind of benefits that are laid down in the statute is work that we take very, very seriously. And it's only a certain threshold, a certain type of organization that can attain a certain threshold that would enjoy this privilege. Your Excellency, you're aware that in the context of financing for development and in the context of realizing sustainable development goals, it is now a given that public sector resources alone are not sufficient. That you need to look as government to private sector. You need to look as government to philanthropy. You need to look to high net worth individuals. And you need to pool these resources to aid in the realization of sustainable development goals.
So this office opening is for us a sign of the work that is already in place and a hope that we will continue to grow our partnership for the region and the continent. With that, let me thank very deeply the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. We would not have made it to this day without you.
We take the concerns of our citizens seriously. I wish to clarify with utmost respect the rationale behind our decisions. Diplomatic privileges and immunities are tools, not trophies. They are meant to facilitate the seamless operation of organizations that advance public good, much like the foundational principles of the Vienna Convention. These privileges are not a blank check, but a carefully calibrated mechanism to enable organizations like the Gates Foundation to deliver impactful programs without bureaucratic hindrance.
3 government officials, including Deputy Chief of Protocol John Kyovi Mutua, were arraigned in court on charges of forgery and conspiracy in a diplomatic fraud case. The charges stem from falsified U.S. visa application for 19 individuals, most of whom were not government employees. The suspects were granted bail of 50,000 Kenyan shillings each. The DCI has urged to safeguard the integrity of diplomatic processes. Here is more on this thing.
3 government officials, including the Deputy Chief of Protocol at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. John Mutua, have been arraigned in court in connection with the diplomatic fraud case. The arraignment follows a detailed investigation into allegations of forgery and conspiracy to commit a felony, approved for prosecution by the Director of Public Prosecution. The investigation, which has been ongoing since March 2023, was triggered by the U.S. Embassy's discovery of falsified diplomatic notes originating from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. These documents, signed and issued by Mr. Mutua, sought U.S. visas for 19 individuals, purportedly government officials from various ministries, including the Central Bank of Kenya, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure. However, following a review of the documents by U.S. Embassy officials, it became clear that many of the individuals listed were not legitimate government employees. The investigations revealed that 2 officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, alongside a third accomplice, a civilian, were fraudulently obtaining cash from unsuspecting citizens on the pretense of helping them obtain U.S. visas. The suspects were charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and released on a cash bail of 50,000 Kenya shillings each. The DCI has assured embassies and high commissions in Kenya of its commitment to tackling any threats to the integrity of diplomatic processes, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding official documents and maintaining trust in international relations. Triza Tiengo, GBS News.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki today presided over the Kenya Tea Industry Centenary celebrations in Mombasa County, marking a century of commercial tea farming in the country. In his address, the Deputy President lauded Kenya's tea as the finest globally, emphasizing its pivotal role as the nation's highest earning cash crop. Here are the details.
Ranked top globally due to its quality, bold flavor and consistency, the Kenyan tea generates close to 200 billion Kenyan shillings in foreign exchange earnings annually, accounting for 2% of the country's gross domestic product. However, despite the tremendous phenomenon, the sector is still marred with challenges, which according to the Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, the government is committed to addressing.
To safeguard the heritage and reputation of Kenyan tea and to ensure sustainability of the tea subsector, the government has continued to address the challenges facing the tea value chain. Chief among these is the high cost of production and processing, market access, lack of value addition, and dependence on markets that consume the CTC tea, that is the crush, tear, and curl tea.
In his speech in Mombasa County, the Deputy President emphasized a shift in government policy to subsidize tea production rather than consumption. This approach, he says, aims to reduce production costs to farmers and make Kenyan tea more competitive in the global market.
The agriculture pillar in the Kenya Kwanza plan is anchored on subsidizing production rather than subsidizing consumption. This broad target is to ensure we improve agricultural productivity, to guarantee food security in the country, create jobs, and increase Kenya's exports.
Tea farming in Kenya was introduced in 1903, with commercial production beginning in 1924. Over the past century,
The sector has expanded across 21 counties, playing a vital role in the lives of more than 65 million Kenyans. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
Traders in Kagio Town, Kirinyaga County have welcomed the construction of a new ultra-modern market aimed at reducing congestion at the current fresh produce facility. The two-story building is being developed jointly by the county government and the national government under Economic Stimulus Program. Meanwhile, the government has announced plans to double the Ewasongiro tannery annual leather production capacity from 1,200 to 2,400 metric tons, equating to 4.8 million Kenyan shillings to feed leather. The expansion aims to strengthen Kenya's position in the regional leather industry. Gala Olitiptip, Managing Director of Ewasongiro South Development Authority, provided updates on the project during a recent site visit. In other news, Kenya Forest Service, Embu Station, along with local stakeholders, planted 17,500 indigenous tree seedlings in Irangi Forest, Mbuvori, Embu North Sub-County. This initiative, led by County Commissioner Jack Obuo, is part of a reforestation effort targeting the planting of 1.4 million trees in Embu County this year. Paris Kego with more from the counties.
Traders in Kagio, Kirinyaga County have endorsed the planned constructions of a two-story ultra-modern market aimed at easing congestion in the fresh produce area. The project, led by the county and the national government under the Economic Stimulus Program, will serve an additional 1,000 traders. County Trade Galbert Njeru highlighted the inclusion of social hall, organized stores, sanitation facilities, a drainage system, and ample parking in the design, following a public participation forum to incorporate traders' input.
Tumekuwa na mkutano leo sababu kuna zile soko ambazo gavana wetu Mungu Iguru ameweza kuongea na viongozi wa serikali na tumeweza kupewa soko 11. Tayari kuna 3 ambazo zinaendelea.
Governor Anne Iguru says 11 markets are being constructed in Kirinyaga under the ESP initiative, with construction work for Mukarara, Kimbibi and Kibigoti markets have already started.
By the end of this financial year, the construction of additional 3 aggregation centers, namely Riakanya, Togonya and Kibiregwe, will have been completed.
Kine, member of the County Assembly, Geoffrey Muremi, expressed his commitment to ensuring that the expansion of the market is inclusive and reflects the needs of the traders. Speaking during a public participation forum at the market, the traders said the expansion of the facility was long overdue and lauded efforts by the county government to create a conducive environment for business to thrive.
Na siku ya leo tumekuja hapa sababu tunataka kujenga soko mpya. Katiba yetu inaongelelea sana juu ya public participation, maoni ya wananchi. Maana kitu jambo lolote ambalo nataka kufanyia wananchi lazima waulize ndipo nao watoe maoni yao.
Na bara tutalinahu. Mary Nyawera, a potato trader at the market, said the proposed expansion of Kagio fresh produce market as it will help aid congestion and create conducive environment for business.
Yes, we are supporting the expansion of the market juu tumekuanga na shinda ya space na tumekuwa na malalamishi mingi sana hakuna space. But now our governor has accepted our cry na tumekuja public participation juu kuko na pesa tutengenezewe modern market.
Hannah Nyambura, a fresh produce vendor, expressed optimism that the ultra-modern market would help aid fights for displaced species among the fresh produce traders and help bring in more customers. Meanwhile, the government is set to double the Ewasongiro tannery leather production's capacity from 1,200 to 2,400 metric tons, equaling to 4.8 million square feet of leather, to enhance Kenya's position in the regional leather industry. SDA Managing Director Ngara Oloitiptip announced that the new machinery is being installed, with the testing slated for the December 2024 and full operations soon after.
We are expected to begin operations beginning December
And that is when we expect that all the equipment will be commissioned, will be tested, and they will be operational.
He urged local suppliers to prepare for increased demand for hides to support the expanded facility. Oloitiptip called on stakeholders to support this ambitious project. He urged the county government to help monitor and improve hide quality and encourage learning institutions to train future factory workers. Engineer Adason Korir from the Presidential Delivery Unit, also Secretary of the County Implementation Coordination Management Committee, attended the site visit and reaffirmed the government commitment to addressing industrial challenges.
We now, as a committee, purpose to help solve a few problems which have been alluded by the County Commissioner.
Additionally, the Narok County Commissioner Kipkeich Lotiatia echoed Koli's sentiment, stressing the importance of adopting modern techniques to maintain hide quality. With all efforts aligned, the expanded tannery is set to become a cornerstone of Kenya leather industry, driving local economic growth and establishing the nation as a key supplier of quality leather products in the region. In others news, Kenya Forest Service Embu Station, along with local stakeholders, planted 70,500 indigenous seedlings in Irangi Forest, Mbuvori, as part of a reforestation effort during the short rain season. County Commissioner Jack Obuo noted that the Embu County is nearing its target of 1.4 million trees by January, emphasizing the importance of tree planting for environmental conservation.
Saa hii tumefika karibu 1,000,000 na tuko na mtandao inaitwa Jaza Miti. Kila miti tukipanda tunaweka kwa ile mtandao, ndio hata serikali kuu wanaona ile county ya Embu inafanya.
County Conservator Miriam Kamau implored locals to embrace tree planting initiatives as a means to mitigate climate change as well as avert drought.
Ninawaomba na wahimiza tuchukue nafasi hii, mvua iko na sisi, tuendelee kupanda miti.
She said they have enough tree seedlings in their nurseries and called on the locals to make good use of the short rains to plant trees in their farms as a way of boosting the country's tree cover. County Water CEC Florence Musyoka called on the community living around the forest to conserve it, as it was a big catchment for rivers such as the Dambana, that is the main source of the water in the county for agriculture and domestic use. On Tuesday, Governor Cecily Mbarire distributed 16,000 pigs oranges seedlings to farmers in Mbeere South Sub-County that will not only assist in increasing tree cover, but also be a source of income for the locals. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. That report brings us to our international news, but first let us take a quick break. We'll be right back with even more.
Today we are going to have the Scouts Corner.
Drop. Cheese. Let. Cheese. Let.
And I'm joined with two wonderful schools. Firstly, we have the Kings and Queens Academy. And we have the SEK St. Elizabeth Academy. Hi. We'll be having different segments. And the first segment, we'll have the Bible knowledge.
Now, Maureen's father works in a place where believers were first called Christians. The place is called?
The third segment will have the spelling bee.
We have 30 seconds to give your answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Amazing.
NINTY 90. CHOCOLATE chocolate.
Meet us every day on Saturday, same place, same time.
Welcome to the 254 Trivia Game Show, where every second counts and the stakes are sky high.
Get ready for jaw-dropping challenges,
mind-bending questions, and unbeatable fun.
Who will rise to the top and claim the ultimate prize?
Tune into GBS TV and let the games begin.
Don't miss out. This is the 254 Trivia Game Show.
Good luck.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the broadcast, and now to matters international news. In a light-hearted moment across the Gaza Strip, a 33-year-old water-in-blood food blogger named Hamada Shakura brings happiness and joy to many displaced civilians in the Gaza Strip, especially children. With these limited resources, he uses aid packages to feed the population who are at high risk of starvation. Every Friday, we will take a look at the heroes of Gaza whose resilience may stir up inspiration to many people. Abdi Hamid Ali has more details.
Hamada Shakura is a 33-year-old water and food blogger who became a viral sensation early this year due to his unique approach of using limited resources to cook delicious food, mainly for the children in Gaza. He lives in southern Gaza, displaced from his homes like millions of other Palestinians who are in constant danger of an Israeli airstrike. Before the war, Hamada worked in marketing, often posting videos of vibrant food culture in Gaza and promoting restaurants. In these videos, you can see how vibrant he looks. Creative food culture was the main focus on his social media platforms. Inside the occupation, with tensions rising on the horizon, he shared food content that united people all over the world. In his point of view, the intricacies of cooking food is an artistic endeavor which illuminates his eyes with fiery passion once he tastes them. During the inception of the year-long war between Hamas and Israel, Gaza Strip was blocked from the outside world, together with aid packages that is supposed to feed the 2.3 million lives inside the enclave. Earlier this year, starvation was affecting mostly children and newborn babies whose developing bodies lacked the nutritional element needed for survival. All because of Israel's obstructing international law and collectively punishing an entire population, causing a man-made famine. Aid packages were allowed in Gaza, but they are limited in supply. Yesterday, a UN Special Committee released a report accusing Israel of genocide with its relentless airstrikes, using starvation as a weapon of war, and breaking many covenants that defines the sacrosanctity of the international humanitarian law. Hamada found a purpose during the bleak moment of his life. His main goal is to put a smile on the faces of Palestinian children who are facing the daily horrors of living inside a war. Hamada is a creative genius who uses limited resources to cook delicious meals. In all his videos, his striking eyes looks directly at the camera while cooking meals to invoke the image of anger towards the viewers. Perhaps for their silence or complicity, or maybe he's staring at the lack of human empathy. He leaves it open to interpretation for the viewers to evaluate their own humanity. Hamada cooks variety of meals in a creative way, from croissants dipped in chocolates, green burgers with vegetables due to lack of meat, churros with chocolate sauce, rice pudding with variety of fruits, apple candy, and many more. When the kids see him approaching the tents, they rave with joy, which puts a smile on his face. At the end of the video, the happy kids all thank him for providing a rare, delicious meal. For his humanitarian actions, he became popular in the world. Many praises him for bringing joy into kids as they face the most difficult and uncertain moments in their lives. By bringing joy using food, he also improves the mental health of children, in which many experts are saying the children in Gaza will forever be scarred by the death and atrocities they witness in the enclave. And that is why Hamada's creative and artistic talent towards food, plus his human empathy towards the nourishment of children in Gaza, is what makes him a hero. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is making waves with his bold cabinet nominations, showcasing a mix of traditional picks and controversial outsiders. After securing a decisive victory in the election, Trump is now challenging Republican senators to confirm his choices, which ranged from seasoned political figures to unorthodox selections, including figures like former Fox News Pete Hegseth and vaccine skeptic Robert Kennedy Jr. Here is the full report.
Trump's cabinet nominations have sparked backlash in Washington, with both praise and pushback coming from different corners of the political landscape. On one hand, he's nominated trusted figures like Susie Wiles, a respected GOP strategist, as his chief of staff, and Florida Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. But it's the more unconventional choices that have turned heads. Former Hawaii Representative Tulsi Gabbard has been nominated to lead the nation's intelligence efforts. She was accused by some Democrats like Hillary Clinton as a Russian spy. While Pete Hegseth, a Fox News host and Army veteran, is tapped to oversee the Pentagon. He once said this about women soldiers.
You don't like women in combat?
No.
Why not?
I love women service members who contribute amazingly because everything about men and women serving together makes the situation more complicated, and complication in combat means casualties are worse.
Kristi Noem, South Dakota governor, is tapped to run the Department of Homeland Security. She faced backlash earlier this year when she wrote a memoir about shooting her dog to death. Perhaps the most controversial of all, Florida Representative Matt Gaetz is going to lead the Justice Department despite facing an ongoing House Ethics Committee investigation. Gaetz has denied allegations of sex trafficking, and the Justice Department previously declined to pursue charges. As Trump pushes forward with this election, he's banking on Republican unity in the Senate to confirm his picks.
We are unified and energized and ready to go. We have a very well-designed playbook. We will begin to execute those plays with precision on day one. And so our new and incoming members, we're here for new member orientation, they were a part of all of this today. And we're preparing the players now to take that field beginning early in January.
However, it's Trump's nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to head the Department of Health and Human Services that is perhaps the most controversial. Kennedy, known for his outspoken anti-vaccine belief and conspiracy theories, could have significant influence over public health policy if confirmed. His past statements about vaccine safety and his desire to overhaul the National Institute of Health have raised concerns among public health experts, who warn that his approach could undermine decades of scientific analysis and put lives at risk. As the confirmation hearing looms, the nation is bracing for a fierce debate over whether Trump's anti-establishment picks will reshape the federal government in profound ways. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. And that international news brings us to our sports news. Let's get sporty. Football Kenya Federation election of new officials from Nyandarua County have been pushed forward to Saturday by the FKF Elections Board. This is after candidates contesting for chairmanship and the executive secretary positions tied in the elections held at All Kalau NGCDF Hall. One delegate was disqualified from participating in the elections for failing to produce his national identity card. Ruben Kai from Daragwa Sub-County and his arch-rival Joseph Thotho were contesting for their chairmanship positions and managed to garner 10 votes during the elections attended by 23 delegates across the county. Wawero Ragui from All Kalau and Charles Kibiru from Kipipiri went head-to-head and garnered 11 votes, while Samuel Maura from Murungaru area in Kinangop constituency was elected unopposed as a youth representative, while Ruth Wanjiro from All Kalau was also elected unopposed for the women representative position.
Kwa majina naitwa Jesse Keiro, TM Murungaro FC, na leo tumekuwa hapa All Kalau CDF Hall kufanya uchaguzi ya FKF chairman branch ya Nyandarua yenye haikumalizika, lakini sio kwa ubaya, wametai 11 so tukaambiwa tutarudi hapa on Saturday ndio tumalizie uchaguzi tuone kama kutapatikana mshindi.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Coaches David Ragui. Okay, nilikuwa mmoja wa wale walikuwa wanapigania kiti cha katibu mkuu shirikisho la kandanda hapa Nyandarua FKF. Lakini bodi ya FKF ya uchaguzi imetufanyisha uchaguzi mzuri sana. Uchaguzi ulikuwa umejaa amani, watu walikuwa wanapiga kura kulingana na venye inafaa. Lakini mimi na tunayeshindana na yeye tukapewa kura ambazo zinatoshana. Bodi ya FKF ya uchaguzi ikaamua siku ya Jumamosi tutakuja hapa ili waamue ni nani ataongoza kama katibu wa soka hapa Nyandarua.
Kwa majina naitwa Anthony Matere, mimi ni sponsor ama mimi ni TM wa timu ya FC Sporting Olkalau, na pia mimi ni CEO wa timu ya Wazee FC ambayo inacheza mipira hapa Olkalau local football. Ningetaka kusema tumekuwa na elections leo hapa Olkalau CDF Hall za FKF Nyandarua branch, na ni elections zinaendelea nchi mzima za all branches za FKF, na tulikuwa na viti viwili ambavyo vilikuwa vinapiganiwa leo. Hicho ni kiti cha mwenyekiti na karani mkuu, ambapo election imeenda vizuri na upiga kura ulianza muda wa saa 3:30 na umeisha vizuri bila vurugu, na tumefurahia kuona ati election imefanywa vizuri. Unfortunately hatujapata mshindi kwa viti vyote viwili, ambapo viti vimeshikaniwa.
60 coaches graduated from the CAF B and C coaching courses in a joint ceremony held in the Kenya Institute of Education on Friday, November 15th. The event was presided over by FKF Deputy President Doris Petra and Chief Executive Officer Patrick Coril, who lauded the graduates for the commitment to advancing their coaching careers and raising the standards of football in the country. The graduation also serves as a precursor to another CAF C graduation scheduled for December 6th, which will cap off a productive year for the Federation's coaching development programs. Notably, this year, CAF C class made history as the first all-female cohort to complete the program, underscoring the Federation's commitment to empowering women in football. This groundbreaking achievement aligns with the FKF's strategic focus on fostering inclusivity and providing equal opportunities for women in the sport. Speaking during the ceremony, Deputy President Doris Petra emphasized the importance of equipping coaches with the skills and knowledge to nurture talent across the country. The event highlights the Football Kenya Federation's ongoing efforts to strengthen the technical expertise within the football ecosystem, ensuring that Kenyan coaches are well prepared to compete and excel on both local and international stages.
Football is all about practice. Despite level gani we defend. Sio kitu wao wanafanya. Hujapeleka cyber.
And that sports news brings us to the end of our news segment tonight. Here at GBS News at 9, we make your news our business. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Adams Minor. Good night.
Everywhere.